هاتوا خالي يلا هات. واحد جالي يا شباب. Israel.
I want to thank President Trump for his unwavering support for Israel.
But the question remains, why? Why does the U.S. continue to support Tel Aviv, even after Israel has killed and continues to kill thousands of Palestinians in its genocidal war on Gaza? Well, for starters, one needs to understand the power of U.S. evangelicals and their belief that modern-day Israel is part of a biblical prophecy.
I say as a Christian, it should be mandated to go to Israel before you get to heaven.
There are around 70 million evangelical Christians in the U.S., and many of them believe that the return of Jesus depends on the survival and expansion of Israel. But what sets evangelicals apart isn't just their ideology, it's also their voting power. For decades, evangelicals have overwhelmingly backed Republican candidates: Reagan, Bush Sr. and Jr., Ford, and now Trump. In 2016, U.S. President Donald Trump won 80% of the evangelical vote. In 2024, that number climbed to 82%. By contrast, the rest of the country voted for Democrats by double-digit margins. If evangelicals were removed from the equation, Trump would have lost every presidential race by a landslide.
You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. I'm a Zionist.
Yes, that's true. And this belief system is called Christian Zionism. It teaches that Israel's existence isn't just a political necessity. It's also a fulfillment of biblical prophecy that will create conditions for what they believe will be the second coming of Jesus Christ. Supporting Israel is promoted as their spiritual duty, no matter the cost to Palestinians living under Israel's brutal occupation.
We appreciate the support of Christians around the world. Jews, Christians, so many others can agree on one thing: Israel is a miracle.
That's true. Christian Zionists believe that Israel is a miracle state, but not for the same reason some Jews may. They believe that Jews must return to the biblical land of Israel to set the stage for Jesus Christ's return, after which Jews must either convert to Christianity or face divine judgment, meaning those who refuse to convert will die. However, most American Christians don't interpret the Bible this way. Many prominent U.S. churches are advocating for Palestinian rights. They reject the idea that justice for Palestinians contradicts their faith. By March 2025, over 500 Christian congregations and communities across the U.S. committed to becoming apartheid-free by severing all ties with Israel due to its genocidal war on Gaza. In the last 2 decades, the evangelical movement cemented itself in politics. John Hagee, who founded Christians United for Israel, a group that actively lobbies U.S. lawmakers to align foreign policy with prophecy, has become a key figure for evangelical voters.
I have been asked 101 times plus, why do you think Donald Trump won? And I have an immediate answer: because he was the only one that was blessing Israel.
Hagee is the same man who claimed that Hitler was actually sent by God to force Jews to move to Israel.
Then God sent a hunter. A hunter is someone who comes with a gun and he forces you. Hitler was a hunter. Why did it happen? Because God said, my top priority for the Jewish people is to get them to come back to the land of Israel.
A chilling view, one that many Jewish Zionists themselves reject. Major shifts in U.S. foreign policy were made under Trump to match evangelical demands. In 2017, the then U.S. president recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and moved the U.S. embassy there.
We moved the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. That's for the evangelicals. You know, it's amazing with that. The evangelicals are more excited about that than Jewish people. It's really, right? It's incredible.
In 2019, he recognized Israeli sovereignty over the occupied Golan Heights region of Syria. Both were seen as religious milestones by evangelical leaders. Some evangelical pastors even compared Trump to the biblical King Cyrus, a non-believer who helped restore Jerusalem.
They said, who's more famous? I said, Jesus Christ.
Trump's inner circle is highly influenced by evangelical beliefs. Trump's ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, a Christian minister and outspoken Zionist, favors Israel's illegal annexation of the occupied West Bank, and even denied the existence or illegal settlements and the occupation.
There is no such thing as a West Bank. It's Judea and Samaria. There's no such thing as a settlement. They're communities, they're neighborhoods, they're cities. There's no such thing as an occupation.
So what is this movement all about? A spiritual calling? Or is it actually a political machine powered by misinterpreted, manipulated, and weaponized biblical verses? As Gaza burns, evangelical leaders are lobbying for more to be done for Israel. To them, this isn't about geopolitics. It's about God's will. And yes, Trump is selling Bibles to his evangelical base. They see him as someone who is divinely protected.
Without God, that shouldn't have happened. He was protected by the angels.
They see a pastor-president who's fighting a spiritual war.
Strike and 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 strike until you have victory for every enemy that is aligned against you.
Evangelical teachings are especially common in churches propagating what's known as prosperity gospel. These megachurches preach that if you give money to God or to the pastor, God will bless you with wealth and success in return.
It's only what you invest in the kingdom that is going to benefit you for eternity. You're going to come up to me and hug my neck and kiss me and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for getting that money out of my pocket.
The ultra-luxurious lifestyle of these pastors isn't a red flag.
It's proof that their gospel works. So when Trump sells Bibles or launches his own cryptocurrency, it's not a red flag. It's received as a message to give and you'll be blessed.
I honestly believe this, that the reason why Jesus hadn't come is because people are not giving the way God told them to give.
That's why evangelicals support Trump with such passion. To them, he's not just a politician. He's a part of God's plan.
I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one.
lives were taken. People were burned alive. Hospitals were bombed, treated like enemy targets. No one is safe, not even the ones trying to save others. There's no time to rest, no space to grieve. And yet, in rare moments of connection, through flickers of signal, they see you marching, chanting, wearing the same graffiti they grew up with. And in those moments, they remember they're not forgotten. So please, don't let them right now. Don't let this become normal. Don't abandon them. The rest of the world already has. Speak up right now. They need you to just speak up, to always remember, and to always remind the world that humanity
Palestine's Gaza is buried under a staggering 47 million metric tons of rubble, and this figure mounts as Israel continues to drop bombs on the enclave into an 18th month. But beneath the wreckage lies a quieter danger: thousands of tons of unexploded bombs. Modern bombs are designed to explode on impact, but not all do. Some strike soft surfaces, others have faulty fuses. Some are delayed intentionally. Whatever the reason, they remain alive, volatile, and deadly. Since October 2023, at least 23 Palestinians have been killed and 162 injured by discarded or unexploded bombs in Gaza. During the ceasefire in early 2025, Palestinian residents returned to their homes, where even a piece of debris could be a live munition. Entire neighborhoods in Gaza are believed to be minefields, including schools, hospitals, and homes. Between 1964 and 1973, the US dropped 2 million tons of bombs on Laos, making it the most heavily bombed country in history, at 8.4 tons per square kilometer. But in little over a year, Israel dropped 233 tons per square kilometer on Gaza, 28 times more intense than in Laos. Based on the UN Mine Action Service's estimate that 10% of bombs fail to detonate, it's likely that there are over 23 tons of unexploded bombs per square kilometer in Gaza. To put in perspective, that is equal to 25 units of the notorious US-made Mk-84 bomb that Israel has relentlessly been dropping on the enclave. If not properly removed, this amount of bombs could kill most of the people within an area of nearly 11 football fields. Each unexploded shell must be located, identified, and manually neutralized. Some children in the besieged enclave are now being taught to recognize deadly shapes instead of being educated in classrooms. UN agencies and NGO experts say it could take 10 years and $500 million to safely clear Gaza. This is, of course, if Israel puts an end to its genocidal war today. And before Gaza can rebuild, the unexploded bombs must go. Until then, every step through the rubble could mean death for Palestinians in the enclave.
Israel, 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 Israel.
I want to thank President Trump for his unwavering support for Israel.
I've been asked 101 times plus, why do you think Donald Trump won? And I have an immediate answer: because he was the only one that was blessing Israel.
Hagee is the same man who claimed that Hitler was actually sent by God to force Jews to move to Israel.
Then God sent a hunter. A hunter is someone who comes with a gun and he forces you. Hitler was a hunter. Why did it happen? Because God said my top priority for the Jewish people is to get them to come back to the land.
We moved the capital of Israel to Jerusalem. That's for the evangelical. You know, it's amazing with that. The evangelicals are more excited about that than Jewish people. It's really, right?
It's divinely protected.
And strike 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 until you have victory for every enemy that is.
We believe this, that the reason why Jesus hadn't come is because people are not giving the way God told them.
I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number. Why? Why?